Hey folks, welcome to the Masterclass this month. This is April 2021 Masterclass. It's great to have you here. I know most of you don't watch live. In fact, pretty much all of you are not watching live. You'll be watching this as a recording. I do these at really awkward times for the majority of our members, so it's not intentional, by the way. It's just the way that it works out. So update here in the UK, we're finally coming out of lockdown. And up here where I am in Scotland, we're kind of like a 2 week behind the rest of the UK. But the hairdressers are finally open. So, the last 6 months I've been wearing a hat in most of the videos and stuff like that. I can finally manage to go and get a haircut, which is awesome. I hope you guys and girls have all managed to get haircuts as well. And I hope everyone's staying safe. I think we're kind of at the final last push. Things are certainly starting to feel a lot more normal. I don't know if that's just because of the better weather or what it is, but certainly a little bit of optimism in the air. So we've got quite an interesting masterclass for you tonight. I'm not trying to market the masterclass. We do these every month, and we kind of have a format where we go over a specialist topic in regards to our IT Rockstars, what we actually offer in the membership. Kind of help you with that. We're also going to welcome new members, and we're going to show you what's up and coming, what's new. I know I've spoken to a few members about what is coming, so I'm going to go into a little bit more detail and what these things are. So let me just bring up the agenda. Hopefully I can get this to work. I am a little bit more prepared this month than I was last month. I had like 10 minutes to set up OBS Studio, so I can, by the magic of OBS Studio and streaming, I should be able to flick to, there we go, a different scene, which is my PowerPoint. I do love OBS Studio. One thing actually, if any of you, IT people out there in IT land, have any idea how TV studios are managing their Zoom connections and making them look pretty, I would love to know, because we're thinking about using, there's a client we've got, we're thinking about using OBS, but we're like, it's the whole management of if there's 10 people in that Zoom meeting, how that's all managed within a TV studio. That's got nothing to do with what we're here to speak about tonight, but if you do have any advice, I would love to know. So welcome to new members this month. We have kind of been holding back on our memberships this month for the last 30 days, and that was really just because we've got a few things that we're looking to get right inside the membership. We're going to be doing a whole new sort of roadmap series. The roadmaps are now, almost a year since they've been updated, so we've got a lot has changed in the membership area, and we need to align all the things that we're offering you now in the membership alongside the roadmap. So there's some new content coming, so we've kind of held off on memberships, but we have had some people somehow find us, and we'd just love to welcome them along. They're all listed here, so if you're watching this as a recording, or if you are watching live, if you're that one or two people watching live, welcome. It's great to have you here in IT Rockstars. You don't know how much this means to myself personally, but my family and all the other IT Rockstars team as well. We love it when new members join, and if you haven't already, get that onboarding session done. There's a big start button in the VIP portal. We would love to kind of actually meet you and find out what it is that you do. One weird fact is, probably about half of the people that join us every month, we kind of offer them this marketing strategy, and they just don't ever take it up. So, and it is of true value. So, obviously you're going to get value out of these master classes as well. But we just love to meet everyone that's a member at IT Rockstars. It's kind of more of a personal touch than one of these other bigger marketing services that you could get. So welcome new members. The dog, this is a stock photo and PowerPoint. I typed in hello, and for some reason it came up just one image, and there was a dog. So I thought, oh well, I'll put the dog in. That's my PowerPoint skills right there. So something new for April that's coming next week actually is we're going to be delivering a mini SEO course. Now, if you saw the email that we sent out earlier in the week, I think it was Tuesday, Tuesday the 13th, I think it was, of April, we kind of mentioned the fact that we've always resisted doing an SEO course, and it's one of the things the IT Rockstars is known for is the SEO. We have a book called Bear Attack SEO, and it's like how IT Rockstar was put in the map. And we have a lot of members that signed up to our service based off of the back of that book. And we keep getting pestered about delivering a course for you guys and girls out there in business technology land on how to, rank your site top in Google for key terms, things like IT support, IT services, IT consultancy in your local area. And we've done some work in the past, but the main reason that we've resisted doing this is that this is a fact. Is because there's actually much easier ways to get leads than SEO. There are some basic things, however, that you can implement that will help your ranking in Google. However, don't spend too much time on it. And the reason that I'm saying that is because you should be spending more time on other avenues in your marketing. When I first got into SEO personally, I was doing really break fix, charged by the hour IT support work. It was mainly residential, and I ranked a site at the time pretty much top in my local area. From that sort of beginnings, I realized, wow, SEO's got a real, there's a real power behind it if you can get to that top position in Google, or one of the top places in Google for some keywords. And that is true. Even with that B2B approach, you are going to get leads in. However, if you're looking to deliver, if you're looking to, what's the word I'm looking for? If you're looking for quality leads, you're not going to get them through SEO. Okay, so it's just to be aware of that. And that's why we've put it off for so long, is because the methodology we teach in the roadmaps is going to build you a longer lasting client relationship once you finally get that prospect as a client, as opposed to the SEO route, which is very much, you'll find a lot of the leads that come in through SEO, there's going to be tire kickers. There's going to be people that are really just looking around for price. And there's people that are wanting a lot of project work, like one-off work. So you're going to find that it's potentially a little bit more difficult to sell managed services. And you'll easily get the project work. But that managed service side of things, which you really should be going in first with, you're going to find that that's not going to be as easily done with SEO. And that's the main reasons for not teaching it. But there is still a requirement for it. And there are some basic things, as I mentioned. That's why it's a mini course. It's not a full-blown course like the MSP Video Academy that you've got access to in your membership. But it's a mini course that's going to be done live over the course of 3 or 4 days, starting on, let me just get the dates here, 20th of April. And we're going to be doing them live inside the MSP Marketing Lab Facebook group. Now, if you're not a member of this, you can just search literally the MSP Marketing Lab on Facebook. Majority of members that are with us are in here already, but that's where we're actually going to be delivering the mini course. We're testing out Facebook, and the lab is actually where we do a lot of our marketing tests. And we have had this Facebook group for a little while now, but we don't let too many people know about it. Just members and a few other sort of connections that we've got here at IT Rockstars. But if you want to be part of this mini course, you can join the marketing lab. It's there's no charge or anything like that. It's just part of your membership. And there's a few things I've got them written down here, actually what we're going to teach. So the first thing is ranking top in the local map pack. So that bit, when you do a search in Google, and it usually shows you 2 or 3 different businesses with a map at the very top, I'm going to show you how to rank to that top position, into that 2 or 3 position. It's fairly straightforward. And it's easy to implement. So it's almost like the quickest one you can do from an SEO perspective. We're going to be teaching that. The competitor dominance report. So this is basically how you can look at data that's available to you for free or a very low cost to outrank all of your competitors locally. So that your top 5 or top 10 bigger competitors, people that are, that are higher up than you in the search. I'm going to show you how you can dominate them above them. The other thing we're going to show you is some of the low-hanging fruit opportunities that you have. And this is really about thinking about keywords that no one else is thinking about. Now, I mentioned at the start of this is, you really want to rank for things like IT support. Well, there are actually other keywords that no one else in your local area is thinking about that you can easily rank for. So we're going to go into a little bit of detail on that one. I've got like an example here, low-hanging fruit, Office 365 support as a good example in your local area. Who's ranking for that? Worth a search and worth seeing as part of the competitor dominance report, how you can outrank them. So the last two in here is the technical SEO on site. You know, most of you guys and girls are technical, so you're probably going to enjoy that. It is very much on site, so it's looking at page speed optimization and some real basics when it comes to SEO. There's some cool tricks as well in regards to JSON injection. Now, if I am boring you with these technical terms, you know, I'll try and make it as exciting as possible in the course. And the final thing we've got in here is finding authority backlinks. Now, these are MSP specific backlinks. So backlinks basically when someone links to your website, that can help your ranking. But not all links are created equal. There's some links that are rubbish, and then there's some links that are really high quality. So I'm going to kind of go into a little bit of detail on the ones that you can quite easily get as an MSP or an IT business, and how you can achieve, how you can get them pretty much, you know, within 2 minutes. So that is the course as it stands. We'll probably have a Q&A session as well, to round it off as well. And then once this has all been done live, we're going to kind of package it up and we're going to put it in the portal so that if you don't have time next week to actually access it, you'll have it there in the portal and you can reference back to it, or you can get your VA to reference back to it, or whoever might be doing it. So that is what's going to be new for April next week. I am quite excited about this. At the same time, I'm a little bit apprehensive because, well, I'm moving house in 2 weeks' time, so there's a lot going on. Printed newsletters. So this is like the core of the masterclass, and we don't have that much time. But one of the things that I keep seeing that our members are doing with the newsletters that we give every month is they keep putting them online. So I keep seeing these pop up once they've been kind of customized. But I keep seeing them on LinkedIn and places like that. And I just really want to give some advice on the newsletters themselves. And also an appropriate way to actually use the newsletters to actually get some value out of them, as opposed to just another thing that you put into your social media feed. So let me bring up my browser. 2 seconds here. Window capture device. Hopefully this works. And that's the way you want. I'm telling you, as I get older, here we go. This is it. Yeah, as I get older, I get worse with technology. So the newsletters themselves, we keep it to 4 pages. The reason that we have 4 pages in the newsletters is because when you go to get these like professionally printed, so I would advise dropping like the $50 or it's literally £40 for like 100 professionally printed newsletters. You'll find that most of the print houses that offer printing of newsletters will give you an option of either, you know, just a single page folded, or 4 pages or 8 pages. So we've kept it to 4 pages, so it's like something that's digestible when it's picked up, and it's something that someone can easily, you know, a business owner or CEO can quickly consume this content, and they're not going to get, you know, bogged down with material. There's some basics though within it. So obviously there's things like going into Canva, the Canva link that we give you, and changing out the logos, changing out with your own telephone number, putting your own image up there, your own signature, and just some of the customizations where you see IT rock stars mentioned. That's like the basics that you need to get with this. The other things, testimonials, get at least 2 testimonials in here. We have a place for 2, I think. There's 2 in here, there's the other one. And then the other customization is just a little bit of something personal about you or about your staff, and getting a picture of either, you know, a new, you know, the staff member of the month, getting something personal in here down the bottom left. The other personal thing is the QR code, and the QR code ideally goes direct to a phone number. So when they scan the QR code with their mobile device, it starts to dial a number. You can do that with QR codes fairly easily, or bump them to a web page where they're going to enter in their contact information, like a Calendly page is ideal. You know, like a, you know, booking in your calendar. The less steps that are involved to get that person to be able to speak to you, the better. So if you're having it as when they scan the QR code, that it's going directly to, going to dial your number, your own personal mobile number, that's going to be one of the best ways to do this, okay? So that's from the basics of personalization or branding this up for yourself. That's the basics. Other things that you probably should consider is the coloring. And this is where I can give you details on, like we've got a graphics designer that does all of this stuff in-house for us. But he is willing to do this for you. He's a VA for us. He's fairly low cost. He's based out in somewhere nice, nice and warm. But he will brand up. He'll take your logo. He'll take your branded colors, and he'll change all of that out for you. So it really sort of is vibrant to your colors, your brand. Those are the basics within it. And I do see a number of members doing that already, which is awesome. But as I mentioned, there's this bit that seems to be missing with it, and it's probably because I haven't explained it correctly. So let me just go back to the PowerPoint, and that is actually how to use this. And I would really suggest that, if you look at the roadmaps that we have, that you go back to your prospecting list. So if you've built up that list of ideal customers that you really want to work with, okay? That prospects list, 100 or 200, or how many ever it is, I keep it a nice manageable number. That's the first thing, something that you can actually work with, or your salespeople can work with, keeping that number manageable. So the number that I like is 150, because I can make 150 phone calls in a month. The other 50 are clients. So it equals to around about 200. So I put my existing client base on that list as well. They get this newsletter. They don't get it in email though. They get it printed in the mail. And there are, let me show you these, hold on. This is how I do it. I get these colored envelopes. I think they're A5 in size. So the newsletter is actually folded. And this is literally just a money-saving technique, but you'll pay a little bit more for these sort of colored envelopes, and there's a whole selection of them, but they'll stand out more in the mail than just like a white envelope. The fairly low cost to send in these, but what I would suggest when it comes to actual postage is actually purchasing stamps as opposed to doing the sort of electronic stamps. And the reason I say that is because you'll find that if you've got a nice stamp on it, it's not going to look like junk mail. It's going to look like something that's a lot more personal, and they're more likely to actually open it. Now, the reason that the mail is working so well, and the reason that I'm kind of advising that you use the mail or the post, is because there's so much stuff online just now. Everyone is inundated with content online, that when you're looking for a marketing avenue that's maybe is not where you're trying to get attention, you'll find that something like the mail is actually, there's probably not actually that many other local companies doing that, and that gives you a little bit more attention in that channel. We have had this question come up recently, is that, okay, well, that's great, Scott, I can go and send this stuff out in the mail or in the post, but what about COVID? What about everyone working from home? Well, that's where you have to be fairly that's where you have to scrub your list, basically. When you're looking at your list, your prospects list, and your existing client list, finding out the address, the mailing address, there is going to be, if they're an established office with if they've got 20 employees, there is going to be an established address. And getting the right contact information there, the decision maker that you're going to be putting on those envelopes, you're going to find it's much more likely to actually get to that person, as opposed to someone that's maybe not the decision maker. So there's a little bit of work there to do that, but it will pay off, and it really pays off if you implement a process. It's the last bullet point that I got here. So there's the whole piece about, okay, you're going to customize the letters. That's something that you can outsource, or you can do in-house. You're going to have that list built and ready, ideally in a CRM, and then you can build out a pipeline in your CRM to basically say, okay, they've had the newsletter, they've had this month's newsletter, move them in the pipeline. And the next piece within this, implement a process, is actually following up. And this is where it comes to actually, picking up the phone and speaking with them on the phone. Now, when it comes to that type of thing, I don't do that. I'm not going to give you advice on how to follow up because I don't do that. It is something that it needs to be done. It's something that I used to do. I just don't do it. I don't feel comfortable doing it. And I'm sure you've got your own business. You're aware of what you can and what you can't do, what has to be done by other individuals. But that follow-up process is crucial, and that is because IT services are always seen as a cost. And no matter how good your marketing is, you're going to have to pick up the phone, or you're going to have to get someone to pick up the phone and actually, to get a conversation out with someone. And because you've done this bit in the process, it's people you actually want to work with on your list. You've sent them that newsletter. You've sent them something useful. When you speak to them, or when your colleague speaks to them, or your VA speaks to them, you've got an excuse to speak to them because you're going to be asking the question, hey, did you get my newsletter in the mail? Wonder if you've got a little bit more time to speak about one of the topics within it, something like that. So it's a much higher chance that you're going to be able to, start that conversation piece. So that process, you need to map that out in your own business. It's not something you can't outsource the whole process. It needs to be something that you build, and that process. And the way that we do it here at IT Rockstars, we outsource that last step, the follow-up. We don't do that ourselves. That's completely outsourced. The envelopes, the stamps, that's done by my wife. The newsletter itself, that's something that our VA comes up and brands for us. And then follow-up is done elsewhere in our CRM, and we know who's been spoken to, and then that conversation's had, and we get the Calendly invite. So that's how it works for us, and we practice what we preach here. So we don't, all of the marketing that you see out of IT Rockstars is how we market, and we know that it works because that's how we get our members. It's obviously a slightly different business, but if you're not doing it already, the last thing is just remember, get it in the mail. There's no point in having a newsletter online. That's what emails are for. Okay, so with that out of the way, a little bit of time for you to spare. Coming in May. Now this is going to probably be later in May because I've got a house move. And the top one here, groundhog.io, they're having a few of you asking about this. IT Rockstars mail. So Groundhog is a WordPress plugin, and it's basically, if you've used ActiveCampaign or HubSpot, it's very like ActiveCampaign, but it sits inside a WordPress environment. So it's a whole email marketing platform that actually sits inside WordPress. And then you can put in your own SMTP gateway on top of it. So the benefit to you of this is, well, you may be already using something like HubSpot, ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, whatever it might be. The main benefit for IT Rockstars members is that you'll get access to this free of charge as part of your membership. We're going to be building out a few nurture funnels. So we're going to have templated funnels that are follow-up sequences, automations that you can kick off, you can customize, and they will just do the magic in the background. And it's really, again, it's just that whole marketing piece that's going to get done for you with it. And it's, it's another tool that you're going to have access to. We are still working out the finer details on it. It's a fairly new tool to us. So we have some questions about, how much support are we going to give you guys and girls with this? And how much of it is just going to be the templated marketing that we're going to give you. So there's a little bit of balance that we have to strike there with that. So that's like the major thing that's coming in May. The other one is the Vault access, and that is the last it's 30 months almost now that we've been releasing content to MSPs. We've worked with over 200 MSPs to date. And we have, there's 4 content pieces every month for the last 30 months. So there's a lot of content there that's sitting on my OneDrive. And I'm like, well, we can, it doesn't just have to live there. It can be something that all of our members can have access to. So the whole content library that we've ever done, we're going to be giving access to. So it's a fairly big thing for us, this, because we've always... the content that we release every month, the reason that we kind of only keep it up for the month and then we pull it down is so that you actually implement the content and use it. So that's the logic behind it anyway, and it's perceived that it's potentially more value within it. So when we go and release, there's over 100 pieces of content in the vault, you know, and it just grows, it's growing in size every month. You know, we're trying to strike the balance here where we don't want to overload you with content, but at the same time, we want to give you, you know, amazing value as part of your membership. So we're going to give you access to the content. It's going to be searchable. So if you are looking for content on a specific topic, the theory is you'll be able to drill down into that topic and you'll be able to find content specifically on that topic. So that's the vault. It's coming in May. That's actually easier for us to implement than the Groundhog service. It's going to be licensed though. So this is the other thing that we're trying to work out, is that it's part of your membership. So if you were to ever leave us, which I'm sure you won't, then that content has to, you know, that content's ours. So we'll work that one out though. We'll figure out how we're going to manage that. I don't know how we're going to do that. And then the final thing, it's going to be a busy month in May. I'm sure I'm going to get all this done, but you know, this is the priority here that you're seeing this order in, is the MSP sales mini course. Now, I already mentioned that when it comes to sales and following up with people, that is not my bag. But we've met and we've worked with, and I've referred a lot of business to a couple of MSP sales coaches over the last year or so, and they owe us a little bit of work. So we've got a couple of tricks up our sleeve in regards to this, but we're going to be pulling a couple of individuals that are going to they're going to be delivering this sales mini course. I'm going to be asking lots of really dumb questions in it, and they're hopefully going to be able to answer these really dumb questions. And it's all about sales. So it's that whole follow-up process and how to build that sales process. So that's what's coming in May. And that's the masterclass for tonight. I hopefully haven't kept you too long. Let me see if I can switch back to my awesome self. There we go. Oops. Yeah. So if you guys and girls have got any questions, let me just check the live chat. See if anything's going. If you guys and girls have got any questions, let me just check. I don't want to do that. There's no questions. That's fine. So yeah, if you've got anything, if you're needing any support or anything like that, you know where to hit us up. SEO mini course is the big one though. That is the MSP Marketing Lab Facebook group. That is the action for you guys and girls to get into that. Literally just search MSP Marketing Lab and you'll find us there. I'll see you pop up and I can ask you in. So that's it for tonight, folks. Hope you have an excellent month. And I'll see you in the SEO mini course. Take it easy. Bye.